さん、こんにちは。琉球大学、沖縄の琉球大学のライマ、ジェームス・デイビスと申します。もう今回、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Hi, everyone. My name is James Reimer. I'm a professor at the University of the Ryukyus in Okinawa, Japan. And I'm here today to talk to you about, the book, 25 Future Dives. Klaus is a veteran in this field. He's written many books, really cool books. For me, this is my first book. I'm super, super excited. I've written a lot of scientific papers, done a lot of research. To write a book like this has always kind of been something that's been banging around in my head. And to do it with a really cool co-author like Klaus and the great people at Asian Geographic, super cool. It's a dream come true, and I'm super happy about it. It's a bit late here today. You can probably tell by looking at my face. I was out in the sun today. I covered up. I did the slip, slop, slap, and I had a hat and everything. I was snorkeling in a river. But yeah, there's no chapter in our book about the ozone hole. And I realized this driving home from the field. I was like, nah, another chapter, 26 future dives. Well, no, we're at 25. And the inspiration for this, it's kind of hard to remember exactly where it came from. I think I was talking with Klaus online, and we're like, wow, future dives, 10 future dives. And then we got to 15 and we started making a list, and 20, 25. Well, I think we got to about 20. And then we threw in a dinosaur dive. Well, it's not dinosaurs, the mosasaurus. And we talked about the far distant future and had a bit of sci-fi fun, science fiction. So it was cool though, but like to be honest, the book really wrote itself. We really had a fun time brainstorming the chapters, kind of thinking of some of the fun stuff. Each of the chapters has a briefing, what sort of equipment you're going to need. It looks like a serious dive book. There's a lot of probably, I love my bad jokes. They're in there too. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was cool and very fun. As well, it was educational. To be honest, my specialty is ecology, coral reef ecology, and a bit of taxonomy of understudied marine invertebrates and animals. But there were chapters, that we split up the chapters. Klaus wrote a few more than me, but we split up the chapters. And some of the chapters, I knew nothing about at first. A lot of them I did, but some of them like the nuclear accident dive, for example. I knew nothing really about that, despite living in Japan. I'm in Okinawa. It's a bit far away from, say, Fukushima. So I started reading the scientific literature, checking it out. It was pretty cool to learn about this. And also, for example, in the chapter, I won't go into too many details, but there are people whose jobs are diving in active working nuclear reactors, and they're pretty much fine, I guess. Things like that were just really, really impressive to me. So, I learned a lot about, what I should be more worried about, what I should be less worried about, along with the things that I sort of already knew about, say, climate change or changing ecosystems or ocean acidification, things like that. So yeah, it was a really fun time. But at the same time, for us, for all of you here at this wonderful convention, this diving convention, they say that knowledge is power, and I hope that you can read this book and learn a few things, and maybe become, just learn a few things you didn't know. Climate change in the future, it's really complex. There's a lot of different roads out there. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where we're going. It's very easy to be pessimistic. But at the same time, I think we can do a lot of good locally, and there's a lot of local things we can solve. And the news is often very negative, but I'd like to think things get better, and I'd like to think that we'll have a pretty cool future, which is one of the chapters in the book. So yeah, if you read this book, you learn a few things, you talk to some people, we can't solve all the problems, but again, with knowledge being power and you sort of spreading the word and all of us doing our part, maybe we can make our future dives just that much more better, brighter, more enjoyable, less turbid, whatever it turns out to be. So with that, I'd like to say arigatou gozaimashita, and thank you very much. And I'll see you guys underwater or in Okinawa, and we'd love to hear from you about this. So thank you very much. Have a great time and talk to you soon. Cheers.
Hello, my name is Klaus Stiefel. I'm a biologist scuba diving instructor and author, and as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm Austrian originally, but I'm currently based in the Philippines, which is the best place in the world, I think, for an ocean lover. Now, I would like to introduce a new book which we wrote, and we, that is my friend and colleague Sensei James Reimer from Okinawa, and it's coming out these days with Asian divers, so many thanks to John Ted and team. Now, the book is called 25 Future Dives. So what is this about? As you probably know, there are a number of environmental problems going on in the ocean. And we think that it would help if more people knew about these problems. Now, we don't like to preach because, first of all, I think that's undignified and it also doesn't work. People don't want to listen to you. So we tried to combine the seemingly uncombinable, which is light writing and a sense of humor, with news about the catastrophes of the ocean environment on planet Earth. And we have split this in 25 chapters. Each chapter is a dive, and there is an introduction to the problem, and then there's a dive briefing. But this time, the briefing is not we will visit this beautiful reef or this amazing muck diving site, as you would get a dive briefing during your vacation. But in contrast, the dive briefing each describes one environmental problem. So, for instance, a problem which we describe is the invasion of lionfish into the Caribbean. Now, lionfish, Pterois volitans and Pterois miles, these are a part of the fauna of the Indo-Pacific, the Indian and the Pacific Ocean, and somehow, probably by release from aquaria a few decades ago, these made it into the Caribbean oceans. There they found a already struggling ecosystem, and they found no natural predators and a lot of natural prey. So they have greatly expanded there in numbers, and there are up to 17 times more lionfish per area there as compared to in the Philippines and other parts of their native habitat. So the Caribbean is really greatly affected by an invasive species, this lionfish. Now, this is a dive of the future, seeing invasive species, which you can also already do. So for many environmental problems in the ocean, unfortunately, the future is now. And I hope our book will inform you about these problems. I am under no illusions that everybody will then go out and solve these problems. But if there is a little bit more awareness leading to a little bit more action in terms of the environmental issues of our oceans, it would make us very happy. So check out our book and see you soon.